Sweet the whispers in your ear whenever ember wanders near.
Day late, but not a dollar short. It is time for HLC. Now I have it on good authority that he gets kind of hot on this one. So I've heard he gets kind of hot. I've heard it's hilarious. It's HLC. It's always a good time. So let's go.
All right, U.S. Navy, you can approve that project, the funding for the Rusty Dagger munition.
What?
What?
Oh, nothing. I just, that's just a real interesting name for any kind of munition. What does it do?
It's a low-cost alternative to the Tomahawk cruise missile that we can mass produce in far greater numbers when we're not dealing with a near-peer adversary. It can be ground-launched or air-launched.
And of course, as opposed to the Tomahawk, they're calling it the Rusty Dagger? Oh, and it's the red-headed stepchild of cruise missiles. Rusty Dagger. Oh God, they're the non-favorite son of missiles. Oh, the poor Rusty Dagger.
So the ground launch platform, is it, a sailor's butthole?
All right, what are you on about?
Look, all I'm saying is we name stuff cool things, and a rusty dagger. It sounds like a maneuver I did with Russia's mom last night, okay? And rust on any kind of sexual maneuver implies poop.
Rust Are you 12?
Well, excuse me for bringing up the...
Listen, when you're as old as Grandpa Buff, you embrace the 12-year-old, okay? I see no fault in this. He is old enough that if he wants to embrace his inner 12-year-old, you let the ancient plane of death embrace his inner 12-year-old, okay?
Elephant in the fucking room, okay? Shit, if something is named stupid, then I'm gonna laugh about it. But okay, that's fine, don't worry. We're gonna go into the next conflict with our rusty daggers and Alaskan pipelines and fucking Blumpkins.
It's one name, you're being ridiculous.
Look, man, I'm just trying not to get us made fun of. Yeah, the U.S. in collaboration with Mexico has created a new attack helicopter called the Dirty Sanchez. It will be outfitted...
Hold up. Okay, I'm going to disagree with Buff on this one. He's making fun of it. I think if you called an attack helicopter the Dirty Sanchez, I think that would strike fear and terror into the U.S.'s enemies. Dirty Sanchez, yeah, that actually goes hard. Okay? It's like, holy shit, we got a fleet of Dirty Sanchez's on our way. Like that, I'm just saying, like that could work. That absolutely could fucking work.
...with donkey punch munitions.
I get it.
Some good work. Like, Grandpa Buff, you don't need to tease me anymore. I'm already soaking wet with this. Like, start production immediately. Seriously, the Dirty Sanchez coming in with the donkey punch? I swear to God, that is fucking awesome. That would be fucking base as hell. That would be based as fucking hell. If the U.S. created the Dirty Sanchez helicopter with the donkey punch munitions, and instead of playing Fortunate Son, when these attack copters are on approach, all you hear is... And you turn that theme into a theme of absolute terror. The skies are speaking chord. Run!
I get it, you're trying to make a joke. But smoking Aladdin with a donkey punch missile goes unreasonably hard.
Yes!
You know, speaking of Navy, hey, Navy, what the hell's going on? Don't get me wrong. On the one hand, I'm all about keeping a black man down. But why are we talking about changing the name of a new aircraft carrier from the Doris Miller to the President Trump?
What?
First of all, that's only partially up to me. Like, yeah, I know I named the boats. But also, historically speaking, Medal of Honor recipients. Now, Doris Miller did not get a Medal of Honor. He got a Navy Cross. His family has been petitioning for quite some time to upgrade it to a Medal of Honor, which in my opinion, very justified.
Okay.
Although NBC, because I read this from several different things, CNN, NBC, and all sorts of different stuff. NBC, you're all functionally fucking retarded because you
Of course.
said, and I quote, the White House hasn't approved the upgraded medal. Everyone
Okay.
who's been in the military longer than a day will tell you Congress is the approving authority for the Medal of Honor. The president awards it. You fucking idiots.
It's NBC News. Did you expect anything less than mental retardation coming out of their offices? Exactly. I was revving you beat me to it. The thing is literally called the Congressional Medal of Honor, you fucktards. It is literally in the goddamn name. Like, seriously, you don't hate journalists enough. You think you do. You think you do. And then something like this happens, you realize, oh no, I actually don't hate them anywhere near enough. I should get started back up on that right away.
But also, there is some historical context to this. Medal of Honor recipients, historically in the United States Navy, are named after destroyers, or destroyers are named after them. Presidents have aircraft carriers named after them. So there is a bit of a historical precedence.
Sure.
As for changing it to a sitting U.S. president, I don't know how I feel about that personally.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're changing it, though.
I mean, I agree with HLC on that. It's like, number one, upgrade his name across to the Congressional Medal of Honor. Get that, have the petition go through, have it upgraded. I'm not familiar with the sailor, but obviously, based on what HLC is saying, if HLC is saying, yeah, absolutely deserve to be upgraded to the Medal of Honor, I'm with him. I trust HLC on that. And I can see okay, so move his name to move Doris's name to a destroyer, and then if you want to rename the carrier for a president, then go right ahead. But yeah, I kind of agree with him. Don't name anything after not necessarily don't name anything after presidents that are still alive. That part I don't necessarily agree with. But don't name a carrier after a current sitting president. I think that's just optically, that's a really bad look. We have more than enough presidents in the country's history that you can choose a different president to name an aircraft carrier after. When you're a sitting president, it gives the impression that the president Doris Miller helped carry wounded sailors to safety during Pearl Harbor. Then yes, absolutely, Medal of Honor, 100%, absolutely. But yeah, naming an aircraft carrier after a sitting president, it looks like the president is putting his thumb on the scale in terms of naming an aircraft carrier. Technically, he's a former president. Yeah, but he's current sitting. That's semantics. I don't buy those kind of semantics now. And it's Fat Electrician might talk. Maybe Fat Electrician might actually do it if there's enough for him to really get in there. He is a quote unquote former president, but he's still currently serving. And I agree with HLC. If you're the naming of an aircraft carrier is a position of honor for individuals that have held the title of commander-in-chief in the past. And if you are currently sitting president, that is I think you as the president should, number one, you as the president should not be used as a current sitting president. Number two, I think if you are a current sitting president and someone's like, well, we want to name the ship after you, I think you as the current sitting president should do the right thing and defer and say, no, you name the ship after a previously serving president, preferably one that is no longer with us. Absolutely, I 100% agree with that opinion.
Though, potentially changing it, okay? All of this information comes from unnamed sources that apparently are close to the situation.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, and I'll believe it.
And by the way, the unnamed sources, are these the same sources that told you that the president is the one who decides if the person receives the Congressional Medal of Honor? Is it these same sources, perhaps, that told you this? Because if that's the case, I'm not sure I trust those fucking sources.
When I see it. But Doris Miller should absolutely get upgraded to the Medal of Honor.
Yes.
100%.
I get it. This
What?
is
Okay. In Cuba, it was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character in Pearl Harbor. I was wondering if that's what his character was based off, because I remember his role in Pearl Harbor. I think he was a cook. Wasn't he a cook? And then he like jumped on the AA guns. It was dropping some birds as they were coming in, and then he was helping other sailors. I was wondering if that's who his character was based off. Okay, so it was. Okay, cool.
Absolutely get upgraded to the Medal of Honor. 100%.
I get it. This is kind of old news. Sorry, HLC's been busy, but I think we should probably either scale back or cancel our war games that we do with South Korea, because it just really sets a threatening posture against North Korea. And I've been pretty cool with Kim Jong-un. We're
What?
kind of tight. We're homies.
Fucking what? Yeah. When was this? He said this is delayed. When was this? That he said that we're gonna be nice to the communist dictator in North Korea. What the actual fuck did I just hear? Those were doing the bullshit on Iran, like, oh, we're gonna sign a deal, and then they break the deal. Well, this deal is gonna work, and they break the deal. Well, this time it'll be good, and they break the deal, and we're doing that bullshit insanity over and over again. And now he's saying like, oh, we're gonna make Kim Jong-un, the communist dictator of North Korea, happy. Keep your friends close? No, this ain't no. Or keep your enemies closer? No. No, that keep your friends closer, your enemies closer bullshit? No. Not a fucking chance. South Korea is the friends of the United States. How do you think South Korea is going to feel about the fact that the U.S. is considering canceling their war games to keep them in combat, to basically that facilitate its training to keep them in a state of combat readiness? That is the entire purpose of these war games, is to try and to try and maintain a sense, keep training up and have both the American forces in South Korea and South Korean forces, like, have them in a state of readiness so that if the balloon ever goes up, both of them are ready to take fucking ass. Number North and South Korea trying to end the war. I don't fucking care. I don't believe North Korea is going to try and end the war. I don't believe it. South Korea may be trying to do it. Sure, South Korea may be trying to do it. I don't believe for a second that North Korea has any intentions of ending the war whatsoever. North Korea is going to pull the same fucking bullshit that Iran is pulling. They're gonna pretend like they're gonna come to the table. They're gonna pretend like, oh yeah, we're gonna make all nice, and the second the alliance, the coalition in South Korea drops their guard, the minute that fucking happens, guess what North Korea is gonna fucking do? They're gonna start throwing Papillon missiles across the bow and across fucking Japan. It's never going to fucking happen. And placating a dictator like this doesn't make you look fucking strong. Then why did we stop the war in the first place? That we stopped the war in the first place because, for whatever reasons, they came to the ceasefire. Like, as a reminder, the war between North and South Korea is still active. It is still active. They came to a ceasefire agreement. And yeah, because China got involved. Because China got involved, if the U.S. continued to press, China would have sent everything in North Korea and it would have been a shit show. So they came to the ceasefire agreement. That doesn't mean that the war is not still on. The war is still on, but it's only in a ceasefire. Why would you show any sign of weakness to North Korea by canceling the war games, which shows strength by saying, hey, we're training our people so that if you decide to play fuck around, you will find out in a very fast way. What is this bullshit?
What the shit? Why the fuck are we getting schmoozed?
No. Sign of good faith? No. North Korea has never in the history of its dictatorship ever shown any sign of good faith whatsoever. You do not show a dictator country a sign of good faith when they never have. As a reminder, I will remind you that North Korea, when they had visitors, the last time North Korea had visitors from a Western country, one of the visitors took down a poster. You know what happened? They turned him into a fucking vegetable and sent him back on life support eventually to I think it was the United States that it came from. That's what North Korea does. You don't show signs of good faith to a country that will literally vegetabilize a tourist because he took down a poster and then send him back to his home country on life support so he can die like a few days after getting home. You don't show any good faith to a country like that whatsoever. You show them strength because that is literally the only thing they understand.
With a goddamn communist dictator. North Korea is not really communist, because plus real communism's
Yes.
never been tried. But it's
Fuck
more
off,
just an
California.
autocratic dictatorship mixed with a little bit of socialism. Communism is the way forward.
Ugh, there's California. Go. Full steam. Full power to the engines. Buff. Fucking go.
I'm starting to think you're just retarded on purpose. Kim Jong-un's dad, Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il's dad, Kim Il-sung. Kim Il-sung was appointed to be in charge of North Korea by who? Oh yeah, that's right, Joseph Stalin. The most prolific fucking communist the world has ever known. You think he's like, hey, I'm gonna put you in charge. You should do something else. Don't do what I do. I can't do a Stalin accent. Wait, this is kind of weird.
No, Buff. You can't do that with California. History is important until it goes against what they believe. And then it's just propaganda.
It's more than just propaganda in California if it goes against their belief. It's violence. As a reminder, California, if you say something that goes against their beliefs, if you state something factual that goes against the cult hive mind belief that they've all been programmed with, they consider that violence. Just as a reminder. And, they are the ones that actually, basically answer words with actual violence.
Like, for example, people are calling my friend Brandon Herrera a neo-Nazi.
Oh,
and they're basing it off of the
yeah.
fact that he owns a copy of Mein Kampf. Okay. The Library of Congress has 6 of them, including one that is in original 1929 Braille print.
Ah.
Is the Library of Congress neo-Nazi?
According to them, now, yes. Why? Because the person in the White House who oversees the Library of Congress or who oversees the country. So in answer to your question, yes, in their twisted, fucked up, brain dead minds, yes, the Library of Congress would be considered neo-Nazi. If these people had their way, they would literally remove all aspects of history that make them just, oh, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't want to know about that because it gives me the ick. And they would literally remove everything from the Library of Congress that gives them the ick. Fuck these people.
It is so unbelievably ironic that Mein Kampf was printed in fucking Braille. Why do you tell the blind people, hey, feel around on their face if their nose is too long? They don't belong here.
America, you and I have a very long history together.
Yes.
We even have a saying in my country, 같이 갑시다, which means we go together. This alignment with the North is not good for either one of us.
No kidding.
I don't like it any more than you do, but there is a growing sentiment kind of against American bases and support in South Korea, mostly from young people. All the people in your country who are old enough to remember the Korean War love us because they remember what we did for them. It's all the young people that think that we're the Antichrist.
What?
What?
Why? Okay. Does anybody know why young people in South Korea hate America? Where the fuck did this come from? Too much TikTok? Maybe. Education? Well, no, to my understanding, South Korea is actually pretty good in terms of education. Same reason the liberals do. I don't. Maybe Johnny's. Oh God, did Johnny Somali turn South Korea against the U.S.? Like that legitimately could be a good reason. Is because America produced Johnny Somali. CNN. That's true. Most nations outside of America, they only get their news from CNN. They don't have access to any other news services coming out of the United States, and all they get is CNN. So yeah, actually that does kind of track. That kind of does track. And CNN hates America. Like CNN is an anti-American news agency. It is literally it is literally like foreign propaganda inside the United States. It's absolutely insane. The entire network hates America, and everything they report on is basically anti-American. I'm honestly amazed that it's still allowed to operate in the United States, as anti-American as they are.
Is it weird that I really just kind of want to like pull all the forces out and be like, best of luck to you, and then let North Korea just steamroll them all the way back to Busan, and then I'll come and save them again so that they can remember me for another 50 years?
Slight disagreement. I'm not entirely sure North Korea would be able to steamroll them. Yes, North Korea has a lot of troops. North Korea does have, like, from a sheer volume perspective, North Korea does have more troops than South Korea does. However, South Korea is better armed, better fed, and, better medical care. South Korea is like on its own. Yeah, the ROK meaning Republic of Korea, can hold its own pretty good, especially given the fact that the majority of troops that the North would send against them are going to basically be like emaciated, starving zombies. Like, remember what happened when North Korea sent troops into Russia to try and help the Russians? Remember what happened to those North Korean troops? The minute they got access to internet, they all just started jerking themselves off into a coma because they finally got access to porn. Yeah, I legit don't think that I legit think that the ROK would be able to withstand modern day North Korea because North Korea's army is so emaciated and desperate for literally anything that they probably would be able to put up as much of a fight compared to, the sheer extra numbers that they have probably wouldn't help them because, like, one of the South Korean soldiers would probably easily equal about, like, 10 of the North Koreans at minimum. So it's honestly, RMK would probably do all right. RMK would probably be able to handle North Korea trying to take a push by themselves. He'd probably do okay.
I would get to fight MiG-15s. All units be advised I got a target lock on not a slur. Not a slur. That is the NATO reporting name for the MiG-15. This is
Really?
a historically accurate statement.
Really?
Oh, we've had a terrible attack up here in Sweden.
What?
There was a former student who went to his high school and killed a young girl
What?
who was
I
17
What?
and wounded several others
Oh my
using a
God.
sword. Holy shit.
Jesus.
I mean, that's awful, but on the plus side, it really does give us pretty good confirmation bias that it's not knives, it's not swords, it's not guns, it's not bombs, it's not vehicles, it's individuals who do dumb shit.
So
Who do terrible, awful things.
yes. Yeah.
You gonna hang him, firing squad? What are we doing? No, Sweden does not have the death penalty. It was outlawed in 1937. But he will most likely spend the rest of his days behind bars.
Ah, that's stupid. Uncle Sam, come on. We gotta do something about this.
What do you want me to do? He's in Sweden. He's
Yeah.
arrested. He's behind bars. Like,
And we still be in prison
it's
the rest
their
of his
country,
life.
their laws.
Like, yeah, okay, you're gonna say, like, okay, anybody that's like, oh, come on, Sweden, what the fuck? As a reminder, there are states in the United States without the death penalty where if this happened in one of those states, there would be no death penalty and they would spend the rest of their life behind bars too. Just as a reminder, not every state has capital punishment.
Oh, come on, drum up some kind of stupid fucking law or something that he broke, and then when they extradite him to the United States.
That's true. Although, well, okay, you're looking at Texas and Carmelo. In fairness, Atanashi, that was just one person. This guy actually went on a mass killing spree, so extra bodies would actually would basically up the criminality factor for them, even in Texas. So it still would be life, even if it happened in Texas. And Bueno, thank you for the tier 1. Thank you.
His plane doesn't make it, or he accidentally falls out into a seafaring wood chipper or something.
You just like killing people you deem are bad guys.
Yes, but that entire
Dang.
statement could have gone without the "you deem are bad guys" part.
Actually, if I'm going to be realistic, if he did it in the States, they probably tried say he is not guilty by reason of mental insanity and commission him to a mental hospital. Like, at least Sweden's locking him up. If he did this in certain states in the United States, they probably would just put him in a mental hospital and say, oh, this poor guy, he's just insane. Let's, like, feed him and clothe him and keep him in a cushy mental institution for, like, a few years and then say, oh, you're all better now. You can go now. What are the odds that would happen?
Yes, but that entire statement could have gone without the "you deem are bad guys" part.
A shopping center? A fucking shopping center! Are you serious, Russia?
They blew up a shopping
America,
center.
He is exploiting the fact that I'm running low on Patriot interceptors. I need more missiles. You and me both, bro.
Although this does kind of collapse a lot of different theories around the world. See, like Russia said that they destroyed all your Patriot systems, but you're not asking for more systems, you're asking for more missiles, which means that's a lie. And then the fact that you need more missiles and they're exploiting the fact that you're running low on interceptors means that those interceptors work, which contradicts what Iran is telling everyone is that Patriot doesn't do shit. So it's great. Russia and Iran both lie. Yeah, crazy.
I did not blow up the shopping center on purpose. I was targeting Ukrainian and NATO stronghold nearby. Also, they did not say this. They have not spoke about it at all. I'm just making this up because this is probably what they're going to say in the next couple of days.
You're terror bombing.
Yeah.
Bro, that means that in 4 years you have done nothing of tactical significance and you're just bombing civilians now because you want them to capitulate.
Yes.
I mean, which I could do to Iran. I'm trying to be nice.
I mean, it's fucking Slavic special ed. Do you really think that they're going to do anything except go for civilians in order to try and get the... I mean, this is calculated. If you fuck up the civilians, then the civilians are going to look at the leadership and say, hey, they're not going after military targets. They're going after us. Maybe you need to, like, stop. They're trying to pressure the civilians to get the military and the governmental leadership to give up, basically, because they're only attacking civilians and not attacking military targets. This is calculated.
The drones and missiles were probably jammed and went the wrong way. They went a little off course instead of going where I needed them to.
I knew all too well about when something goes where it's not supposed to go. Happened the other night with your mom, but I ain't no fucking quitter. Sorry.
Well, Wolf, let's be honest. Just because it didn't go where you wanted it to go doesn't mean it didn't go where she wanted it to go. I'm just saying. It's Russia's mom. She likes it up the backside sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
I had to wipe the poo off me on the shower curtain.
You have no shame. Russia, just pull your head out of your ass.
How ironic. That's exactly.
You shut up your mouth, you fucking plane! And you, America, why are you, what's the word I'm looking for? Lecturing me about anything that you have done, good or bad. You say you're a nation of laws, but there is a bunch of white women outside of Lindsay Clancy trial
here we
talking
fucking
about how they too wanted to kill their children at one point in time. How are you allowing this?
First of all, you gotta understand, Russia, bitches be crazy.
Yes.
It's kind of the same reason we had people advocating for the algae in the retention pond. They just do it not because they love what someone did, but just they hate somebody else so much. But also there is a little bit of nuance in this thing.
Yeah, here's the nuance. It's a bunch of dumbass liberal white women that are unleashing their inner misogyny and letting the misogyny flag fly. That and they are desperate for clout. Yeah, there is no fucking nuance here. This is a bunch of crazy bitches that want attention. That's it. Every single one of these sociopaths that are out there cheering for a murderer and that are basically trying to no, it's not misandry, misogyny. I say misogyny because they're also trying to claim that the husband did it because he's a man, because he's a Gemini, because of astrology reasons. No, it's misogyny. Oh, fuck, oh my God, I'm so fucking cooked. You're right. You're right. I'm so fucking cooked on this. I'm getting it backwards. Yeah, it is misandry. I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm so fucking, like, I get so fucking furious about this still that I just, like, everything's, like, left to right, back to front, all that stuff. It's just, I'm tired of these women. They're still doing this shit where they're basically supporting a baby killer, which, by the way, as I've said on Twitter, none of these whores will say the names of the children. None of them. 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and an 8-month-old. They're not saying their names. They're saying Lindsay's name all fucking day long. All day, every day. They're all about Lindsay's name. They're all about blaming the husband because of astrology reasons. None of these women are talking about the children that she murdered. None of them. Not fucking one of them. That's disgusting. That they are cheering for a woman who murdered her babies. Deliberately. This is not, oh, postpartum. No, it's not. She actually had to chase down and murder each one of them individually in a way that is not fast. That this is not like, oopsie poopsie, I did a fucky wucky. And after the first time, she snaps out and goes, oh my God, what have I done? No, she executed the first one, chased down the second one, executed that one, chased down the third one through the house, and executed the third child. That's not postpartum. That is psychopathy. That's flat out psychopathy. And these women are cheering it. They are championing it. They are giving money to it. Yeah, the GoFundMe is supposedly, which, by the way, I want to see what that GoFundMe's up to. Hang on. What's the GoFundMe up to? GoFundMe is up to $1,050,000. That's how much money these psycho women have given. And supposedly this is going to Lindsay's mom and dad, who relocated to Massachusetts to be close to their daughter. Supposedly that's going to the parents. No, it's not. It's going to Lindsay. It's going to pay for her court costs, which, by the way, is against TOS by GoFundMe. Just as a reminder. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Men are starting to break up with their girlfriends. They're starting to call off their weddings. There are men that are actually contacting divorce attorneys and seeking to file divorce for these women that are saying, same Lindsay, and vocally supporting Lindsay Clancy. And they're going to divorce lawyers go, yeah, dude, I need to get out of this marriage. Good for that. Like, the fact that no one is, this was never about feeling sympathy for a woman with postpartum. This was championing a woman who killed her own children. This was cheering a murder. There was no sympathy like, I feel so bad for the children, but I also feel bad because maybe she was going through something and this is a horrible scenario. There's none of that. It's, oh, Lindsay, I feel the same. I too feel like strangling my own children to death. sometimes. I'm just like you, for real, for real. CPS, I think that child needs to be removed. Like, this whole thing, I need to stop. I need to stop, or I will go even harder and go on forever and start glowing. Let me just say this. It's fucking disgusting. Every single one of those women that are out there verbally supporting Lindsay and doing TikToks of same Lindsay, you are demons casting spells and you should be exorcised. Every fucking one of you.
I have no idea what it feels like to go through postpartum depression or psychosis or anything else like that. That's not something I can experience because I can't give birth. However, I think that the answer is somewhere in between. You can agree that the system failed her. You
Sure.
can agree that she was misdiagnosed. You can agree.
You could agree if you didn't actually see the evidence and the evidence didn't seem to be lining up that she was using the system to construct an alibi or an insanity defense. That's the problem with that argument, saying that the system failed her. We listened to the testimonies. That didn't sound like the system failed her. That sounded like she was setting up an insanity defense. With everything that she was doing over the course of like 2 months, that 100% felt like she was basically setting up a paper trail. Like she was setting up a paper trail for herself, so her defense could say, well, she saw this therapist and she was on this medication and she was doing this and she was doing this. But if you look just a little bit deeper, the places that she went to that was supposedly specifically to treat postpartum depression actually rejected her and said, no, what you're going through does not fit our criteria. This ain't postpartum depression. This ain't anything postpartum. You don't meet that criteria. You need to go elsewhere because we're specializing in postpartum. So yeah, it's all starting to sound like she was planning this and setting up her defense in advance. It sounds premeditative. And Griffin Knight, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in.
That the husband is probably a colossal piece of shit who may have been cheating on her.
Wait, what?
Misdiagnosed. You can agree that the husband is probably a colossal piece of shit who may have been cheating on her.
Okay, is there some new information about the husband that I am not privy to? The last that I heard, the husband was doing everything he could. That was debunked. Okay, I was gonna say, because the last thing that I heard is that he was doing everything he could. He basically switched his job, so he was working at home. He took paternity leave so he could take care of the kids just after, I think, the last one, their youngest child's birth. He took paternity leave and even hired a nanny to give mom help with the children. Now, I'm not going to say bad take, because HLC may have gotten some information that was bad information that may have been debunked. So I'm not going to say bad take on it because, HLC, pulls a lot of his stuff from media and social media. And I'm going to hazard a guess that maybe one of these like misandrists out there doing like he's a Gemini, so of course he did it. Maybe someone like that posted something saying that, oh, he's cheating. So of course she snapped. And that has since been debunked, probably based on the whole look, he got a new wife. Yeah, look, he got a new wife. 3 years later. I think HLC did do research. I think he got bad intel. I think this is, I don't think this is I don't think this is an L take. I think HLC got some bad intel. Heck, I've said things, it would be a legitimate reason. Because guess what? I've done the same fucking thing. I've done the exact same thing. If HLC got bad info and created a video with that in it, I've gotten bad info before. I've said stuff on stream that was bad info before, and the next day I realized I was dead fucking wrong about the information that I received. You know what I did? I went on stream and said, I fucked this up. I was wrong. I've got new information. This is completely incorrect. I'm willing to say that HLC is in the same scenario, that he got information or he found information that was perhaps incorrect.
But I think we can also agree it's not okay to strangle your 3 kids.
Yes.
I think that's a fair kind of middle ground.
I can prove that everybody loves killing kids.
Please do not
Oh,
continue
God,
this
Buff.
at all.
No, it's reasonable. See, everyone is somebody's child. Everyone was birthed by somebody, right? Okay. It's just, me specifically, I like to wait until they're old enough to pick up an AK and speak Arabic. That's when I take care of it.
I hate that that makes so much sense.
Of course it does. That's what
Wait,
I
wait,
like.
hang
You
on,
wanna know
hang on, hang
everybody
on.
loves killing kids.
Hang on. I was watching Chad same time. I need to hear what Buff said again.
I think that's a fair kind of middle ground.
I can prove that everybody loves killing kids.
Please do not continue this at all.
No, it's reasonable. See, everyone is somebody's child. Everyone was birthed by somebody, right? Okay. It's just, me specifically, I like to wait until they're old enough to pick up an AK and speak Arabic. That's when I take care of it.
I hate that that makes so much sense.
Of course
I
it does.
hate-
That's why they
oh,
inbreed in
God.
that part of the world. They want to make sure the next generation is dumb enough to follow along.
Oh,
Well, it looks
God.
like our trade talks have kind of fallen apart there, Uncle
Oh,
Sam. And,
yeah.
It's a real shame. You're going to impose a 50% tariff on billions of Canadian goods that come down there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to strike back.
Oh no, I think we're gonna have a tariff on like maple syrup, poutine, and moose meat. Whatever shall we do?
Look, I don't know much about tariffs. All I know is that's the reason I can't get a Hilux, okay? Maybe it's
True.
tariffs. Maybe it's an embargo. I don't.
Canada, we don't care. So should I just end stream now then? If it's Canada, you don't care. Should I maybe just end the stream now? Did you forget I live in Canada? Yeah. Like, I'm not happy that these straight talks have come together. And I'm not, like, blaming one part. I'm not blaming Canada. I'm not blaming the U.S. It sucks. It sucks that that they can't get this work the fuck out. I think it's a combination of ego on both sides. I think, Trump has got his ego in the U.S. I think Carney is got his dumbass fucking ego in Canada too. I think Carney is being a fucking idiot also. Like this is basically two fucking retards fighting, okay? That's what this is. And it's like oh God, I so want to get someone that knows what the fuck they're doing as the Prime Minister of Canada. I really do. Everything that has been happening in Canada has been done in the absolutely wrong fucking way, and we need to get someone that actually knows what the fuck we're doing in charge. But this is literally just the battle of two fucking egos. Yeah, two children who don't want to share their toys. Yeah, kind of that too. It's LeBlanc kept bringing up Carney's polling numbers during negotiations. Again, stupidity. That's, again, we need someone fucking actually knows what the hell they're doing in charge. It's just, Ford guy threatened to cut off power to the northeastern states. Yeah, Doug Ford. Well, honestly, they need to have Doug Ford actually do the negotiations. Because honestly, Doug Ford has got enough of an attitude that he could match Trump in attitude. Because Doug Ford kind of has the same attitude that Trump does. That same, like, that same bluster, that same, he likes to do the same beating of his chest and everything like that. They need to send Doug Ford to the negotiating table for these, because he would actually be able to meet bluster on bluster. And in the end, they kind of go, did we just become best friends? Like, that's what would happen if you need to send someone that basically knows the bro code. That's what it is. You need to send someone from Canada to basically do the negotiations with the U.S. that understands the fucking bro code. So they'll basically beat the fuck out of each other verbally and then come out of it like, are we best friends now? That's what they need to do. They don't need to get a fucking pansy ass who basically who caters to the fucking SJRs at every fucking turn. Ford is a legit dumbass, though. Yeah, but at least with his bluster, he'll get shit done. He's cocky enough and he's headstrong enough that maybe, like him in the U.S., if he does it, like him and the representative from the U.S. can come to an agreement on something. It's just, I hate all of this. I hate all of this. I don't know details of how this fell apart, why it fell apart, etc., etc. It's just, I hate the fact that one of the US's closest allies has gotten to the state where the people in charge are forgetting that the US and Canada are the closest of allies. We need to get someone back in charge who remembers that, hey, the US and Canada have fought together through blood and mud in some of the greatest wars this planet has ever seen. They fought together, brothers in arms. You need to get someone back in charge that remembers that fact and realizes, okay, yeah, like we're not going to just give in to anything the US wants, but also realizes, hey, these people are our brothers we're our brothers through the war. We fought together, we bled together, we died together. We need to, the people in charge need to fucking remember that. Yes, Canada does need to get its balls back. Absolutely.
I don't fucking know. I just want a goddamn Hilux. Will you stop being a dick to all our friends?
The Snow Mexicans may have been our friend once upon a time, but not anymore. And now
See?
they're looking more like an aggressor nation.
See?
In the same video that you praised Kim Jong-un in.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Uh-huh.
Canada will figure this out, man. I mean, hey, we could just like annex you guys, right? Oh yeah? You in what army? Dude, it was
No, don't.
a joke. But the one that I have that's about 30 times the size of yours, what the fuck are we doing? The world has accepted that Iran has defeated the United States.
Okay. In some part of Canada, you can get arrested if you hurt someone's feelings. Yeah. But guess what? That also happens in the US. The whole thing of getting arrested if you hurt someone's feelings, that happens in the US too now. I've been seeing videos of, what was it? I forget which state this was in. There was like two guys, and there were two gentlemen, and there was a female cop, and she basically threatened to arrest these two guys if they because they said something that someone else didn't like. Everybody in the US is like, oh, Canada, oh, UK, oh, EU, you can get arrested for saying something that someone doesn't like. That's literally happening in the US too. Like, it's fine. You want to call it out in other nations, fine. That's fine. It is happening in other nations. But recognize it's happening in your own backyards. A lot. One of the biggest cases in the US recently was a woman who is going to be spending time in jail for calling someone the N-word under the auspice of disorderly conduct. That's real. They are legit putting a woman in jail for, I think it was like 30 or 90 days because she called someone the N-word. That's it. It's happening in the US as well. Okay, you want to call it out in other nations, rightly so? Sure. Yeah, you're right. It is happening. But also recognize it's happening in your own backyard. It's happening on your front yards right now. Just remember that.
World has accepted that Iran has defeated the United States in open combat. No, they haven't. Are we just making shit up now? Buff, you may be onto
Yes.
something with that whole inbreeding thing.
People call me racist,
course
but they
they're
never
making
call
it
me
up.
wrong.
Now that the United States has been defeated, we will move forward with trying to maintain peace in the Middle East.
Peace? While you throw a bunch of money into secret underground organizations and just stow civil unrest. Stoke? I don't know what word I'm looking for there, but civil unrest all throughout the world?
You want to be the pot or the kettle?
Okay,
True.
listen here, you little son of a bitch. You may have won that exchange, but I'm still gonna fuck you up. America.
And by the way, is it any surprise? Like, this is going to be the outcome. When things in Iran, unless the US goes the route of basically full extermination, this will be the outcome when all of this is said and done. Is Iran will be crowing, we beat the great United States. That is going to happen. Why? because they need to in order to, keep their populace in line. If they don't declare victory when everything concludes, if they don't declare victory, the populace will take advantage of it. If it's only we survived, the Persian population will capitalize on that and maybe try to make a move to take over. They have to basically do a proclamation of victory through propaganda to give themselves the appearance of strength. Because if they don't, they'll give the appearance of weakness, and then their own internal enemies, i.e. their own civilians, their own populace, will try to take over. This was always going to happen. If you didn't think it was going to happen, wake up. Smell reality.
Okay, listen here, you little son of a bitch. You may have won that exchange, but I'm still gonna fuck you up. America at this point, just cut your losses and move on in the world. Oh, I know you're not talking. After the pamphlets I saw you're passing out to your illegal immigrants?
Here we go.
Buff, this is all you.
Okay, before Buff goes ham, because I think this is gonna be close to the end. Before Buff goes ham, little backstory. The UK is passing out pamphlets to their migrant population that has come from third world countries. Do you know what these pamphlets said? Please stop raping people. I'm not joking. Well, there's a paraphrasing there, but they literally handed out pamphlets to migrants to say touching people inappropriately, i.e. raping women and children, is bad. Okay? I am dead fucking serious. Dead serious. This is how they're dealing. The report that came out that detailed at minimum 250,000 victims of rape and grooming gangs dating back to the 1970s? This is their answer to it. Let's hand out a little pamphlet to the immigrants that says, don't touch in the no-no spot. That's their fucking answer. This is pathetic. And I feel horrible for every normal person living in the UK that has to live with a government that hates you so much. I gotta be careful or I'm gonna start glowing. It's every person that I know from the UK through my chat, my mods and so on. Every person that I know that is from the UK fucking hates their government and the way they're operating. Especially with this. Yeah, I'm I could go off, I could start fucking glowing, but then I will probably get shut down. So I'm going to let Buff once again be my spirit animal and say everything for me. Buff, take it away.
When you have to pass out pamphlets to people to tell them what consent is, that's not immigration. That's a fucking invasion.
Yes.
By the way, spent a lot of time in the Middle East. They know what consent is. They just don't fucking care.
Bingo.
These are people coming for a better life.
No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not. They're there because their governments have said, go invade this territory, go and claim it for us. We saw it in Ceuta. The governments are actually telling them, go, storm the border. Swarm over it like a zombie invasion. And bearing in mind, what did we see when we watched the Nick Shirley video about the Ceuta invasion? What did they all say? Oh, thank you, President so-and-so of Spain. Thank you for giving every illegal immigrant status just for showing up. Excuse me. That's what all of them did. They didn't come over looking for a better life. They claimed, oh, there's no food. They all looked very well fed. They were all physically fit. None of them were emaciated. They all came across looking fine. They were wearing, some of them were wearing what looked like nice clothing. A lot of them were wearing nice clothing. No women, or very, very, very few women showing up in this invading horde. And all of them, oh, there's no food, says the guy with braces. Remember, the guy that said there's no food and no work. He was like 20 some odd years old. And he had fucking braces on. A bunch of them claim that they were like 14, 15, 16 years old by themselves, no parents with them. Why did they show up? Oh, because the president of Spain said he's going to give us free citizenship. Like, this is an invasion. This is intentional. If you think it's not, are you keeping your head up your own ass for the warmth at that point?
No, these are people bringing their lifestyle directly to you. So
Yes.
now we're sitting here on a ticking time bomb.
Yes, that's something important. That is something very important. The argument of these people are looking for the argument that all of these reeing SJRs and liberal homicidal empathy people, when they say, oh, they're just trying to come here for a better life, why are they then bringing the very culture that drove them from their homeland in the first place? The very culture that resulted in them, quote unquote, fleeing from the country because it was so unsafe. And we need protected status. Why are they bringing that country to the Western worlds if it was so bad? Because they aren't fleeing from a war-torn nation. They're invading. It's an infiltration. And because we are at a position, we are in a sociological worldwide position where now homicidal empathy rules governments, it's allowing for them to come in and take over. That's it. People that, like, look at, you know what people, excuse me, do you want to know what immigrants looking for a better life and so thus they flee to a Western nation? You want to know what those kind of people look like? Look at anybody that's fled from Cuba. You want to see the poster child of refugees fleeing to a rich Western nation in search of a better life because the nation that they came from is so horrible? Look at Cubans. Look at the Florida Cubans. Look at the Vietnamese. Look at the North Korean defectors. Look at the people that fled the USSR. Literally look at any immigrant that is fleeing from a communist nation. I say Cuba because Cubans are the most not prevalent, but recognizable. The Cubans are, when you say someone fleeing from Cuba, everybody knows what you're talking about. Absolutely everybody knows what you're talking about. That's why you use Cubans as my example. You can use a whole host of other countries. You could qualify that with a whole host of other countries. Everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say Cubans that have fled from Cuba to the United States. Everybody fucking knows. Ask someone from Cuba about what life was like there. And ask them what they did when they came to America. And look at what Cubans that have fled from Cuba and came to America, look at how they behave. Look at how they have integrated themselves into society. They are the poster children for what migration or refugee migration is. They are. Okay? They literally come to the Western nations because they legitimately are looking for a better life. And what happens when they arrive there and when they are brought into that society, they integrate into that society. They become a part of that society. And they adapt themselves to the society that they are integrating into. These people from Middle Eastern and third world countries, like Northern Africa, basically Muslim-based countries, they don't do that. They show up and say, you need to change for me. We may be refugees and we're asking for help, but you need to change for us. Those are not refugees. Those are not migrants. That's an invading force. I can't make it any fucking clearer to anyone than that. If anybody listening to me doesn't understand after I've just explained it in that way, and you still think, oh no, they're here for a better life, put your head right back up your ass and keep it there for the warmth, because you're obviously not gonna, you obviously have no interest in actually using your brain.
bringing their lifestyle directly to you. So now we're sitting here on a ticking time bomb just trying to figure out how soon we can either A, get you to denuclearize, or B, Poland and I are gonna have to invade you and steal your fucking nukes so that way you don't become a nuclear-capable Islamic nation, you fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Your GDP, if you were a U.S. state, you'd be 51st. You're poor. Your military is failing. Your patriots are fucking struggling. Your government doesn't give a fuck about you. And your king, oh, what that chuckle fuck. And you know what? I can say all this because I'm in the United States of America.
If we go get nukes, can Poland keep them? Honestly, probably yes, because you're like the only one in Europe who's holding their own right now.
UK, you need to understand that certain cultures just don't mesh. In that pamphlet, it also says, hey, this is what domestic abuse is because it's illegal to beat the shit out of your wife.
Yes.
Guess what? They also don't care.
Well, that's
Correct. 9 times, I will bet you the majority of immigrants that pamphlet was passed out to, they probably didn't even use it to wipe their ass because they just shit in the streets. They took one look at it and like maybe they burned it. I don't know. They don't care. These people legit don't care because they're not interested in integrating. They're not interested in assimilating. They want to conquer. That's all they're interested in. They are interested only in conquering.
Well, that's not for the perpetrators. That's more for the victims to know that they have rights and they can go report it here.
Rights. So you're saying you lie. So wait. Hold up. Am I understanding this correctly? That the pamphlets were not actually handed out to the immigrants that could potentially be sexually assaulting people, women and children. They're handing it out to potential victims saying, hey, if one of these Middle Eastern migrants sexually assaults you or beats you, you can go to the police and they'll pretend like they'll give a shit. Am I understanding this correctly? The abuse one. Okay. The abuse one, not the rape one. Okay, gotcha. So they hand out the abuse pamphlets to the Muslim women who can't read them in the first place, will ignore them in the second place, and in the third place, if they do actually go to the police because their husbands beat them because he believes he has that right. So when these domestic violence victims go to the police and say, my husband beats me, the husband shows up and says, it's my culture, you can't do anything. The police pretend like they care, but they say, oh, no, you actually have to go to your husband. And then the husband kills the wife for going to the police. They're just cool with that. Am I understanding this correctly? Am I understanding this correctly? Just want to be clear.
Oh, yeah, the victim can go report that they've been getting the shit knocked out of them by their Middle Eastern husband, and then you show up and arrest the only stabbed white guy, and your cops will go, oh, I don't think you are, mate.
Yeah.
Dude, you're falling apart, and we used to love you. We were so tight. Like, okay, we had our beef in the 1700s, man, but, like, genuinely, the sentiment from Americans is wake the fuck up, figure out what the hell you're doing. We want you to be successful. You're on our team, man, but your government's failing you, dude.
By the way, what Buff just said there, that wasn't to the government. What Buff was just saying right there was to the people of the UK. He wasn't talking to the government. UK government's lost cause at this point. There's maybe like 0.01% of the UK government that actually gives a shit about the country. The rest of them don't. The rest of them, like, we welcome our foreign invaders. We just hope that they'll let us wash their feet on a daily basis like good little slaves. The UK government has given up. They have raised the white flag. Buff is talking to the people. Buff is talking to the actual citizens of the UK when he just said that. Because honestly, that's what it's going to take. The people need to vote out their entire government. And I say vote because I cannot say anything else, because if I do say anything else other than vote, I will get in trouble. But the people need to vote out their entire government. In its entirety. They need to basically clean slate the entire government. And they need to get all new people in there that actually give a shit about the country. And again, I say vote because anything else I say will get me in trouble.
You're just racist and don't think that different cultures can coexist.
Now, I'm a realist, and I understand any level of immigration comes with a certain amount of assimilation. If someone
Yes.
comes to the United States, they need to learn English, be able to pay taxes like the rest of us, and follow our laws and customs and courtesies. And guess what? If we immigrate to the Middle East, which is fucking wild, then guess what? My wife has to wear a burqa, I can't eat during the daytime in Ramadan, and then we have to fuck goats or some stupid shit like that. But guess what? Everyone coming into your country wants you to obey their laws, and you're just falling apart under this toxic empathy bullshit. And we're watching the fall of Rome with a whole lot more magic carpets and goat fucking.
Come off back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Buff. I told you he's my fucking spirit animal. And he showed it today. God bless you, Grandpa Buff.